What's up, Avery? Looks like you got everything off. We're going to talk a little sexual selection today, okay? And you just interject with questions. I'm trying to get this thing to go away, and well, there it is. All right, ready, Molly? Avery, you there? You just say hello. Okay.
Hey,
Oh, you. What's up, Avery?
what's up, Mr. Reedy?
How you feeling?
All right,
Ready for a little sexual selection?
sure.
Okay, this is our next topic. And what sexual selection is, first off, it's very interesting. The more we can handle, the more we'll discuss. These are 5 little video examples of sexual selection at work. They're all like 2 minutes or a minute and a half. The library bird is nuts. This one's funny. You should take a look at it. Okay, but they're examples of what we're going to talk about. Snoop Dogg's on there because he sang a song called Sexual Selection. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about. Well, sexual selection. How different is nature from prom? Not that different, right? Boys act in funny ways. They've got to try to catch the attention of a female, right? It's not that different from a male peacock walking around or this little lizard, right? So some guys are going to wear some bright colored clothes to try to catch the eye of a potential mate. So let's compare sexual selection to natural selection, okay? The big difference is in natural selection, the struggle is to survive and reproduce. So natural selection is going to cause species to evolve to survive better in their conditions, okay? Sexual selection selects individuals based on their ability to find a mate and reproduce. So one part of it is, hey, go find food, avoid predators. The other pressure is I got to find a mate, and that can be tricky, okay? Because sometimes attracting a mate with this big pink thing right here might attract a predator too. So these can be competing interests, all right? So in general, sexual selections, members of one sex choose a mate. Typically, that's going to be females. We'll talk about why. Members of the other sex compete for mates, oftentimes males, all right? And then fitness is really, can you find a mate and reproduce? Whereas natural selection fitness is based on find food, avoid predator. Cool? They affect each other a little bit. So sexual selection is the second major force shaping species. I would say, and this is what my college professor taught me, so it's not originally my thoughts, sexual selection is why the world is pretty today. Flowers, right? The reason we have flowers, we think, is part sexual selection. Okay, now you're not attracting a mate, but you've got to attract bees, okay, to ultimately lead to selection, okay? You attract bees, you might also attract deer, which have already eaten my little tulip sprouts, right? So let's talk some major principles of sexual selection. Beyonce was right, you guys, because who runs the world? You guys say it.
Girls.
What? Who runs the world?
Girls.
All right, that's right, Molly. You sure do. Okay? Girls run the world. Why? Well, they're in charge because if we talk reproductive mistakes, okay? If a guy makes a mistake like, oh, why did I mate with her? Now she's going to have a baby. He can really avoid a lot of the worst consequences, right, of making a mistake reproductively. Females, though, because they carry the offspring, right, because they have to raise it, for 9 months inside the uterus, and then, about 18 years, right, until they're off and out of the house and doing whatever. Okay, I'm quoting Kanye, right? Oh, hey, Avery, you want to mute let's see, I'm getting feedback there. Oh, let's see, hold on, wait, participants. I'm just gonna, there we go, you got it. Or is that Molly? Molly. We're gonna mute you for a second, Molly. Molly, if you want to say something, I want you to, and Avery, just unmute yourself. You're welcome to it, but I was just coming back on my end. Okay, so in sexual selection, copulation doesn't necessarily mean success, right? We'll talk about that. The male, oh, I copulated with a female. You can look up that word later, okay? Success, not quite, okay? Because only reproduction is success in sexual selection. Sometimes not even fertilization, right? Well, we'll talk about that too. Let's go next. So we already talked why females get to choose. And sometimes they make some funny choices, right? Hugh Hefner, for some reason, was popular with ladies. You guys know who this is? You guys can unmute yourself. Let's see. I don't know how to do it. Participants. Who's that guy? Do you know? Travis Scott. You're right. Right? Travis Scott. Kendall Jenner. Right? Do you guys know Kendall Jenner? She likes Travis Scott, right? For whatever reasons. I don't know. Okay. So anyways, females choose because they're the ones that carry the offspring. Go. Next slide. Okay. So do you guys know Quagmire? I don't know if kids still watch Family Guy. Quagmire is not very picky when it comes to potential mates. He's not going to be punished for bad decision making, right? Females, if they make a bad decision, they don't get to reproduce, right? Like once you're pregnant, you're not fertile. So if Quagmire could make a mistake and, impregnate one female over here, but the next day, if he made a mistake, he could go and impregnate someone else, and that could be a healthy mate that will, produce a viable offspring, right? But females, they're stuck, right? Their next baby can't come for another year or two, typically. Okay, so they want to be a little more selective in who they mate with. Okay, by sexual selection means, and we're talking animals. Like the humans are kind of fun examples, and there's sexual selection in humans too. But there's other things going on with humans too. We have this thing called mind, right, where we should treat people right and not just act in evolutionary light. Okay, it's ethics. All right, so in nature, females can choose based on a lot of different things. Okay, like lions, female lions, they won't necessarily check out the male as much as they'll check out the male's territory, right? And if that male's got the best territory, they'll stick with him, right? If he's got the land by the water, well, that's the pride you want to be in, right? Some females, though, aren't like lions, right? So lions, the father doesn't help raise the young very much, right? So if you're going to need males to help raise your young, you're going to get to know that male. You're not going to just check out his river. You're going to try to figure out, is he a good guy, a bad guy? Can I trust this guy? And in that case, there's this extensive courtship period. Like lions don't date for very long, okay? But some animals, if we're going to raise this kid together, we're going to date, right? Or we call it courtship in the animal world, right? We're going to get to know each other, okay? And this way, if the male can prove that he'd be a good father, okay, female judges him to be appropriate, to be the right one. Females, we think, might be choosing genes too, right? They might watch males compete, okay? They might take a look at it the size of an elephant's tusk, right? And we think those are symbols, right? You would think of peacock's feathers. I think, yeah, there you go. Peacock's feathers. A female that mates with this male, the peacock feathers don't help him fly. They actually slow him down. They definitely don't help him hide from predators, right? But what they symbolize to the female is this male's healthy. He's strong enough to get food. He's fast enough to avoid predators, and he's got the ability to grow these beautiful spots. Look at that peacock! Wow. Okay. Like in the other guys, I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. Okay. Peacock's not the. Anyways, so this is a symbol to females that this male has good genes, right? Because he must have had enough skeletal muscle mass, despite this huge feather, to go find food, right? And then this is often what we think is maybe females have this instinctive urge to make sure their offspring get good genes without understanding the concept of genes, okay? So females also, they're going to want healthy mates, good genes. There's a sexy son theory of sexual selection that maybe females might like sexy males. Okay, this is a sexy male when we talk right here, okay? If you want other examples, Google it, but that could get weird. I'm not going to, okay? So this is a stalk-eyed fly, all right? What makes him sexy to other females is how far apart his eyes are. He can fill this little compartment up with air, and it's like he's leaving the no flex zone. I don't know if you remember that song, okay? He's going to start flexing, all right? And these eyes are going to spread out as he tries to attract a female. And the thought is, one reason females might like that is because, well, if I find him attractive, the next generation's females will also find that male attractive, and he's more likely to pass my genes on in the next generation too, or his offspring. Okay, guys? Monogamy is fascinating too. I think I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, hold on. Let's stop sharing.